Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another installment of Scott's Selections here for Saturday, February 22nd. Before we get into today's plays of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up picking up a nice, easy winner with the New Orleans Pelicans -4, which we ended up getting on DraftKings at -112. I gave that line out early last night, or in the early hours of the morning, like I believe it was like 2 a.m. or so, because I knew the line would go up to roughly 5 or 5.5. Well, I ended up going to around 6, and the Pelicans ended up winning by double digits. Portland fought hard for about 3 quarters or so, but at the end of the day, their offense just didn't have enough juice without Lillard in the lineup, and New Orleans was able to win that game by double digits. So picked up another winner in the NBA, pretty easy, and we'll be looking for a couple more winners here on Saturday. However, for the NBA card, pretty light on Saturday, and I'm not really a fan of anything on the card. I'll give out my leans on those in a bit, but the two plays today that we're going to be talking about are going to be in college basketball. Now, the reason why I'm making one of these videos so early is because one of these games will be at noon, so that is why I decided to make this video early to give you ample time. The other game will be at 4 p.m., so there is time to bet on the second one. But we're going to start out with the early game, and we'll be on a matchup between Marquette and Providence. And we like the home team here with Providence, and that line is available at -2. And you can get that on Fox Bet at +100, and that will be the first play of the day. So it will be Providence -2, +100 on Fox Bet. Now, the couple of reasons why I like Providence in the spot. First of all, Marquette is the ranked team here. Providence is unranked, and yet Providence is favored in this game. Marquette has been struggling a bit lately as they have lost each of their last 2 games. They lost to Villanova on the road by 1, and they lost to Creighton by 8 at home in their last game. Really not playing well. Meanwhile, Providence, despite being 15-12 overall, is actually 8-6 in conference play, which is better than Marquette in conference play, as Marquette is only 7-6. But Providence has been playing better lately, as they have won each of their last 2 games. They beat a top 15 team in Seton Hall at home by 3 points in their last home game, and then they were able to beat Georgetown on the road by 10. So they have been playing a lot better basketball lately, and they have been in much better form than Marquette as of late. And I think that the fact that Marquette is an underdog in this game is pretty telling. Plus, it is worth mentioning that these two teams actually played earlier this season in Marquette, and Providence was actually able to win this game on the road by 1 point. So Providence already beaten Marquette by 1 on the road. They match up pretty well, and now they're only laying 2 here at home. Providence has been a much better home team than they have been on the road. Providence is 10-3 at home, and Marquette is 3-5 on the road. So I'm a bit concerned with Marquette's ability to beat this Providence team after losing in the first meeting at home. So I think Providence should be able to get the job done. The issue I have with Marquette is the fact that I think this team will go as far as Marcus Howard will take them. And Howard was pretty solid in the first meeting. He ended up attempting 33 shots, but he did record 39 points. I think Providence will do a better job at trying to keep the ball out of his hands. And I think you should see Providence come out with a much more physical approach to guarding Howard, and I think that he will struggle. And I think Marquette will continue to go to extend their slump that they've been going through, as Providence should be able to win another home game. So for that reason, the first play of the day is going to be on Providence -2, and that line is available on Fox Bet at +100. Now the second play of the day is going to be on an in-state matchup between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, and that game will be taking place at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And we like the home team here with Oklahoma State, and that line is available at -1, and that is available on FanDuel at -115. A couple of reasons why I like Oklahoma State in this spot, kind of similar to the first reason why for what I gave for Providence. Oklahoma is 16-10 overall this season. Oklahoma State is 13-13. Oklahoma State is 3-10 in conference play, and Oklahoma is 6-7. So Oklahoma is pretty much better in every single aspect with regard to record, and yet Oklahoma State is favored by 1 in this game. You've already seen some movement to 1.5. I think this line should continue to climb, but the fact that Oklahoma State is favored in this game is pretty telling to me, so I think that they will be the right side, so I will lean to. So the second play is on Oklahoma State -1, and that is available on FanDuel at -115. Now, other than that, a couple of reasons why I like Oklahoma State in this game. First of all, similarly to Marquette, Oklahoma has been struggling lately as they have lost each of their last 2 games. Now, I know that those are more excusable because they ended up losing to Kansas on the road by 17 and they ended up losing to Baylor at home by 11. But if you've looked at how they performed on the road lately, really not good. Oklahoma lost to Kansas. These are in order from most recent to least recent, just based on their road performances. They lost on the road against Kansas by 17. They lost on the road to Texas Tech by 8. They lost to Kansas State. Kansas State stinks, if you haven't noticed, in the Big 12. Lost by 8 on the road there. Then they lost to Baylor on the road by 4. They lost to Iowa State on the road by 13. They lost to Creighton on the road. They beat Texas. So if you actually look at Oklahoma so far this season on the road, they have not won a road game since January 8th. So it's been over a month since they've been able to actually win a game on the road. And Oklahoma State, even though they have been struggling as a whole this season, they have been pretty solid at home this season. They have a winning record at home, but if you've looked at how they performed lately, they have won each of their. They have played a lot better, and I think they should be able to continue playing well in this game in front of their home crowd. You know the crowd's going to be into it, just based on the fact that it is an in-state rival, and Oklahoma State will not be making the tournament, but they still have a chance to get a consolation prize by beating one of their rivals here. But if you've looked at Oklahoma State in their recent home games, they did lose their last road game to West Virginia. West Virginia's a solid team in Morgantown. That's always tough. They were able to win last weekend against Texas Tech at home by 3. Texas Tech is a solid team, been ranked a decent portion of the year. Before that, they beat TCU by 15. Other than that, though, I just think Oklahoma State should be able to ride the momentum of the crowd, and I think they will be able to put together a nice performance here. The fact that this team is favored tells me all I need to know. So the second play of the day is going to be on Oklahoma State -1, and that one is available on FanDuel at -115. Those are going to be the two plays, but in terms of some leans on today's card, a ton of college basketball matchups to go through. I haven't really poured through all of them, not going to lie, but just based on what I'm looking at right now, what do I like here? I'm going to link to, just looking through the card real quick. I'm going to link to Arizona -4.5 against Oregon. I know that I've mentioned before how I'm not really a big fan of Oregon. I mentioned how I thought they were going to lose in the first round of the tournament. They ended up losing to Arizona State in their last game. Arizona has been playing some really solid basketball lately. The first meeting between these teams was an absolute nail-biter that I believe went to overtime, and I think Arizona should continue to play well at home. Oregon has looked very sloppy on the road lately, and I think they should continue to struggle. If you've looked at their actual home and road records, Oregon has a losing record on the road, whereas Arizona is 12-2 straight up at home, and they are also 10-4 against the spread at home this season. So I think Arizona should be able to win that game a little bit more easily than the odds makers anticipate. So lean to Arizona on that one. Other than that, what else do I like here? I'm going to lean to Baylor -1.5 here against Kansas. I know that based on reputation, people will think that Kansas is at the side here. And don't get me wrong, Kansas can very well win this game. But Baylor's probably been the most impressive team I've seen all year. Baylor's defense is absolutely just stifling. I think they should be able to stop Kansas's offense dead in its tracks. They were able to win earlier this season in Kansas, and now they're playing at home. I think the spread's a little bit too low just based on reputation. Link to Baylor. I think they will win this game by around 4 or 5. But either way, I think Baylor should be able to cover this number. What else do I like here? Sorry, just looking through the rest of the card. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Those are my thoughts on the mainstream college basketball matchups. I know that there's a couple more ranked teams that are playing, but I'm not really interested in any of those, so I will personally pass with those. But the two plays today, once again, are going to be on Providence -2, and that one is available on Fox Bet at +100, as well as Oklahoma State -1, and that is available at -115 on FanDuel. That's going to be the installment of Scott's Selections here for Saturday, February 22nd. And good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.